Hi everyone, I'm Walter from Ride the World Motorcycle Tours, and once again I'm joined by my fellow directors, Nick and David. Hey guys, welcome to another webinar.
I do.
And today we are talking all about our ultimate Nevada road trip, and this excites me a lot because I absolutely love Nevada and have been there a whole bunch of times. So we're going to take you through this itinerary that we have put together, which is just outstanding, and you'll see why. And that Nevada has so much more to offer than just Las Vegas. And we'll talk about Las Vegas and why it's so awesome to be there as well a little bit towards the end. So let's get underway. Just a little bit about us before we get too much further. As I said, my name is Walter, and I'm one of the directors along with David and Nick. Ride the World Motorcycle Tours really came about because of my relationship with David several years ago. David had, or still does have, Ride the World Australia, bringing tourists in and taking them for rides on his Harley around Sydney and the Greater Sydney region. David's also a past president of the Institute of Australian Tour Guides, so has a wealth of knowledge there. We sat down and had a chat about what we'd like to do with international travelers and taking Australians overseas. And that's how Ride the World Motorcycle Tours was born. And then we're very privileged to be able to be joined with Nick, who has an amazing wealth of experience in traveling in and around the US and Europe. And really his knowledge in US tours is second to none, having been a ride leader on so many tours over the years. We do tours in the US, Europe, Vietnam, South Africa, and Australia, you can see there. And we also offer a number of different options. So if you are looking just for a straight motorcycle rental pretty much anywhere in the world, then just let us know and we'll be able to help you out. A lot of our partners also offer self-guided tours, and we can offer some suggestions to help you out with that as well. A number of our suppliers also have their own set departures. So whether that's in the US or Europe, India, Vietnam, South Africa, we'll put you on any of those tours. Again, have a chat to us about that. Then we also had a closer look at what Australians and New Zealanders would like to see and experience when we are traveling overseas, and we have crafted our own self-ride tours. Now, these are predominantly in the US, and at this stage, we are looking at actually incorporating a couple of these into our Elite series in the next couple of years. But they are definitely, there is self-ride tours at the moment. And speaking of our Elite series, these are tours that we have crafted together that we personally escort. It's limited to a maximum of 12 riders, plus partners, friends, relatives that would like to join us as well. So it's a very small group. It is very much for the discerning traveler, the discerning motorcyclist that would like those experiences beyond the ride that we offer. It's one thing to ride point A to point B, and that's a lot of fun. But what we do is that we break it up so that we take it to a whole different level as we are doing those journeys. We often say that if a normal tour would take a week to do, we might take 10 days, 12 days, even 2 weeks to do that same itinerary, because we do go off the beaten path a bit. We do find those amazing sights, those amazing experiences that oftentimes we just ride past. Now, along with our Elite series, we also have our seat and van option, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But just again, to give you an idea of some of our self-ride tours in the US, we do have two in the region that is called the Great American West, and that's made up of the beautiful states of North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. And when we combine these two tours, we pretty much cover all of those states and in quite spectacular fashion. Then, of course, we do have our Las Vegas options. We have a number of options there, including Route 66. We'll talk a little bit about that today as well. And then we have another route that goes around through all the Canyonlands. And I know David and Nick have ridden around through there, and it is amazing riding through that whole region. Now, we also do have our Elite series up for 2023, and in the next couple of weeks, well, be about a month or so, we'll release 24. And basically, we're focusing on David's birthday ride, which will be happening in May on Route 66. He'll be singing out the end of his 66th year on this planet in style. And We also have our New Orleans to Sturgis tour that'll be happening later this year as well. And as I said, Nick is the absolute guru and running these tours. And Sturgis, I would dare say you'd be hard pressed to find anybody in Australia that would know anything more about Sturgis than Nick, and why we need to go there and how we need to get there. So we're going all the way from New Orleans all the way up to Sturgis. Absolutely fantastic trip. All right. So just to give you an idea of some of the bikes that are on offer, this is not an exhaustive list, and this is only relevant to the Nevada tour that we're talking about today and other tours that we have in the US. When we are traveling overseas, we do have other bikes available. So for example, in Vietnam and India, we use Royal Enfields. In Europe, we have a choice of different bikes, quite often BMWs, and also in South Africa, we're using some hybrid bikes as well, including BMWs and a few others. So have a look on our website for more details on that. I did mention about our seat and van option, and I just want to highlight this, particularly on this tour through the Ultimate Nevada Road Trip. This has been designed by us for motorcyclists, but it's also an absolutely outstanding tour in and of its own right. So if your friends and family would like to join us, then we do have that option available. And you'll see at the end, we have one other option available for those that would like to be a little bit more independent who are not motorcyclists. So let's get started into our tour for the Ultimate Nevada Road Trip. And this kind of squiggly map that we see here, we're starting in Las Vegas and we'll end up in Las Vegas. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take you on a journey outside of Vegas, and we will head north up the Great Basin Highway to Ely, cross over the loneliest road in America. We'll do a loop around Lake Tahoe to Reno, drop all the way back around through Death Valley, make our way to the Grand Canyon, and then we're going to drop down into Arizona for 2 nights before coming back up to Vegas. This is just an amazing tour. And I keep saying amazing tour because it is. Most of us know Nevada for one reason, and that is Las Vegas. And I know that Nick and David, like myself, absolutely love going to Vegas. There is so much to see and do. And they will jump in at the end and talk about some of their experiences in Las Vegas. We'll be here just for one night before we pick up our bikes and head off. However, we do have some pre-nights that we can book for you as well, and we'll talk about those towards the end. But right now, we're in Las Vegas. We're going to be picking up our motorcycles, or for those that are coming in the van, put all your gear into the van, and we'll be heading off. And what we'll be doing, first of all, is we'll be heading straight out and going through the Valley of Fire, and then heading up on what is called the Great Basin Highway. There are some cool things to see along the way as we come up there. But at the end of the first day, we will be ending up in the small town of Ely. And you can see the mountains behind there. We're in Ely for 2 nights. The first night really is just, it's been a fairly big day, first day riding. We'll rest and recuperate. The next day, we will go for a little bit of ride through the hills, but we will also be dropping in to the visitor center to pick up our passport. Now, you may be wondering why we need a passport. Well, because for the next 2 days, we'll be riding on Highway 50, the loneliest road in America. And as we go along, we'll be stopping at small little towns and meeting some of the locals, and also getting our passport stamped. Once we get through to the other side, we will be stopping in Carson City, which is at the end of the loneliest road in America. And we will we'll trade in our passports for a certificate. So it is a big feat.
Carson City is also important for Nevada. It's the capital.
That's right. Thanks, David.
It's not Vegas like everyone seems to think it is.
Or Reno even. Yeah, that's exactly right. So we'll make our way through to Carson City, get our passport stamped to have that achievement. This is officially the loneliest road in America. So it is quite something to be able to go across it, whether it's in a car, but in our cases, we'll be going across on bikes. And this is our reward when we get through past Carson City, where we'll drop down into South Lake Tahoe. Just incredible coming across the desert and then coming to this blue oasis. So we'll be here for one night. We'll do some rides up around through the mountains as we make our way up to the biggest little city in the world, which is Reno. In Reno, we're going to have a couple of days here. Firstly, because we would have had a couple of big days riding before we get here. So it's a chance just to get off the bike, relax, maybe do some laundry. But we also do have optional ride as well if we want to go through some amazing hills that we can ride through just west of Reno. So for those that would like to take advantage of that, there is that option available. For everyone else, Reno is a cool little city just to go and explore and spend the day just relaxing. The next day is going to be somewhat eclectic as we come down the highway. This is just one of the weird things that we'll be seeing. This is the car graveyard, and we'll be stopping and spending a few minutes there. We will provide you with the spray paints so you can graffiti your car and make your mark. We might have one dedicated to Ride the World motorcycle tours and take a little snapshot. Totally legal, of course. But we'll have a little bit of fun here. But we'll also be stopping at some really weird places like the Clown Motel, which has got to be seen to believe. Just, if you don't like clowns, then you might want to sit in the van for this one. It's pretty weird. Dave, you look like you're going to say something there.
Walter, with this one also, it's not the Cadillac Ranch, because a lot of people get that confused when they're doing Route 66. They go, oh, there's cars buried, it must be Cadillac Ranch. But this is actually an art installation. This is what Nevadians call art.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. It's almost like Cadillac Ranch on steroids. It's quite different. Thanks for that, Dave. There are a lot of other really cool things that we will be experiencing on this day as well. That is really quintessential rural Nevada. Just so much fun and so quirky. We'll be actually, I'm just going to go back a slide here. This is just one little aspect, as I said, because we're actually going to be going around at the end of this day. The last stop before we go to our motel will be in a ghost town. And that is an experience in and of itself that will just blow you away. So we'll be taking all that in. Then following on from there, we're going to do a trip around the back of Las Vegas and to make our way through to Hoover Dam on our way through to the Grand Canyon. The skywalk that you can see there, we'll have an opportunity to do that. If you're scared of heights, even more reason to go and do it, because it'll either make you or break you. It is just something definitely unusual. The Grand Canyon itself, words cannot describe it. The first time I saw the Grand Canyon, David and Nick, I'm not quite sure how you felt, but I thought I knew what it was because I'd seen it on TV so many times, seen so many pictures of it, and yet the first time I saw it, I was just blown away. I just couldn't believe it, what I was looking at.
But it's so big, you don't realize how big it is. It's like the old, you can't see the forest for the trees because you stand somewhere in the canyon, but there's so much more canyon.
Yeah, it's something to behold, that's for sure. Now, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be staying actually at the cabins at the Grand Canyon. And what that does is it allows us to watch the sunset and the colors changing over the canyon. And also in the morning, we get that very unique experience of being able to watch the sunrise while we're having our nice little coffee, watching that the sun come up and all the colors changing again. So magical way to end the day and another magical way to start the day. Really,
and that's called magic hour for photographers. They would absolutely adore being there during that time.
And how does it work? Nick's our, for those of you who don't know, Nick is, amongst his many other skills, is a fantastic photographer. How does it work with our smartphones, Nick? I know you got a fancy
Yeah, I mean, smartphones do a good job. They're very good today. But I mean, if you really want to grab a good landscape shot, you need a good DSLR.
All right. So we'll need to be chatting to Nick before we go.
Now, he's also our drone pilot now as well. So we don't keep throwing our GoPros up in the air. These ones stay there.
All right, then we've got something very special following on from the Grand Canyon. What we'll be doing is leaving there kind of mid-morning, and we are going to be making our way down. The Grand Canyon is in Arizona. We'll make our way further down through Arizona into one of the quirkiest places around, which is the Roadkill Cafe. Now, there is a little motel area behind the Roadkill Cafe. That's where we'll be staying on this evening. And the reason that we have done this is because Seligman itself is just the quirkiest little town. We need time to walk up and down the street just to explore and to understand just how weird it kind of all is. Like, David and Nick, I'm not quite sure if you've got comments on Seligman, but when we were there last year, I was just like, this is an odd little place.
Yeah, it is. It is odd.
I enjoy this one for the menu that they've got at the Roadkill Cafe. As you can see, you kill it, we grill it, but every course on it's got a roadkill name, although it's regular food, but it just adds to the quirk.
Yeah, yeah, and it is. If you've never been to Seligman, then whether you're coming with us or not, this definitely you need to put on your bucket list. It is really, really cool. So we'll spend a night here, and then we'll carry on Route 60, Route 66. So this is the start of our Route 66 experience, and the next day we will basically do a full day run. And one of the places that we'll be stopping at is Hackberry. And if we thought Seligman was quirky, then stopping at the Hackberry General Store, we'll spend a little bit of time here because this is, again, really odd and quirky. What did you say, guys? Like,
Well, it's just a great stop. I mean, cold drinks in the middle of the desert, virtually. I mean, the landscape is beautiful, but you come across this little out-of-the-way place, and that's all there is, just this one store. But behind there, they've got old cars, a whole bunch of curios that you can walk through, take photos of. And you might notice that this particular place has found its way onto more postcards than anywhere else in the freaking world.
That's because it's got your name in it. I can see Philip 66 in the back of on front of the building.
Probably.
Nothing new there, is there? That's the thing with Hackberry as well, because it's a single spot and a very popular one. You meet people from all around the world. Like, okay, it's great to meet other bike riders, but even the car drivers stop and they have a look around the place. So you're talking with other people, you're all sharing this fantastic experience, which is Route 66. And it's, you know, Nevada's fantastic. This is like a little highlight to the side of it.
Yeah, it is. One of the highlights along the way. And from here, we'll make our way to the city of Kingman, or town of Kingman. And we'll spend the night there. And there's Route 66 Museum. There's so much to do in and around Kingman itself. I didn't put a slide in on this one, but for Kingman. But you'll see it on our website. From Kingman, we carry on Route 66, and we make our way through to another really quirky place called Oatman. But on the way, we stop at an even more quirky place, which is called Cool Springs. Again, just really not much here except for the little petrol stop and some really interesting characters that operate this place.
Very interesting.
Yeah. But it is, again, one of those things as we spend these few days on Route 66. And in fact, the entire tour, as we're going around Nevada as well as Arizona, that we are discovering these places that most people don't really get to see or experience. Now, from Cool Springs, we go through to the little town of Oatman. And if you don't know anything about Oatman, it's worth looking that up. There are a lot of donkeys. When the mines closed, they basically let all the donkeys go, and they hung around the area and bred. So,
and they're still there.
They're still there. That's right.
But who's the mayor? There's a mayor in Oatman.
The mayor is legend.
What's its name?
The official mayor of Oatman is a donkey, and his name is Walter. So
I'm saying nothing more on that.
I know that Nick and David quite often think I'm a bit of an ass, so it kind of fits in really well. So
You need to get him an Oatman sticker, Nick.
Yeah, we'll spend a little bit of time in Oatman and walk around. They have a show there that they do a couple of times a day with a shootout, with old Western style, and we'll explore that. From Oatman, we'll carry on, and we're actually going to go a bit further south into Arizona, into Lake Havasu. Now, the reason we're dropping down to Lake Havasu, it'll only take us a little while from Oatman, about an hour and a half to get from Oatman down to Lake Havasu. The bridge that you can see there is actually London Bridge. And when I say London Bridge, I mean the London Bridge. So this was transported brick by brick from London and brought down to Lake Havasu. Now, incidentally, the gentleman that decided to do all this had bought pretty much all the land around the area here, and wanted a draw card, an attraction to bring people down, which is why he bought London Bridge. It's been there for nearly 50 years now, but he had it reconstructed, and then they dug the channel that you can see. So that water inlet that you can see is all manufactured to really boost up the presence of London Bridge. So we're going to ride down. We're going to go to Lake Havasu. Again, it's going to be fantastic, seeing all the blue water after we've been out in the desert for a couple of days, and then actually ride across London Bridge. So we'll get some photos of everyone riding across. That'll be a little bit of fun. And then we'll make our way up through to Laughlin, back into Nevada. And we'll just stop here for a little bit of a break as we make our way back up into Las Vegas. Now, our tour will end. We'll have 2 nights in Las Vegas at the end. And then, as I said at the very start, that we do have our pre and post options in Las Vegas. So just, I'll hand over to David and Nick. As they know, I love Las Vegas. Next to New Orleans, this is probably one of my favorite places in the world. Well, put those two on equal footing. So I'll stop talking because otherwise I'll talk forever. So Nick and Dave, I'll hand over to you guys about what we can do on our pre and post in Las Vegas.
You go first, Nick.
Okay, well, we're looking at a photo of the Bellagio. Now, most likely on the first day that you get to Las Vegas, you'd after dinner, it's a good idea to just walk up and down the Strip, and hopefully we're not too far away from hotels like this. So you've got the Bellagio with the fountain display. They set it to music, and they've done some pretty quirky things with regards to the music, and that they've set the actual, the fountains to. Across the road, you've got Paris. You've got the Venetian. There's so many hotels. La Mirage is down around the corner. And every one of those hotels will have a display of some way, shape, or form. So David and I know that just walking down, watching the displays, they time it rather well. So every half an hour, one hotel goes off. So it just gives tourists enough time to go from one hotel to another, to watch the display, and then work their way around the Strip. Now, there are, you need to spend, and exactly what Walter said. So probably either, I would say post-tour, this would be a good opportunity for you to wind down and see all the stage shows. There are too many stage shows there that you can't fit them all in. But there's a lot of things to see and do. If you want to fire a machine gun, there's various gun stores, gun ranges around the corner. If you want to drive a Porsche or a Corvette, you go to Las Vegas Speedway. Costs about, last time I was there, about $300 to drive a Porsche, maybe $350 for a Lamborghini. You pick which car. You do have to do a 2-hour training with them, like a sit down, plus a driver comes with you for the first, well, actually the driver stays with you, and he'll talk you through the course. And by all means, you go flat out. He'll tell you to flatten it, and he'll tell you to ram on the brakes. David, take over.
Okay. My son's actually done that. He took Goldwing Mercedes around the track.
Yeah.
I went, oh, how much did it cost? He said, oh, $300 plus the video, plus that. And I went, what, $300? He said, how often will I ever drive a Goldwing Mercedes?
Yeah.
That is such a valid point. That's what you've got to watch out on these holidays. That don't sell yourself short. Go and have experiences. Other ways of getting around Vegas is by transportation. One fantastic way to experience Vegas at night is a helicopter ride with Maverick helicopters. The helicopters describe it as the limousine of the sky. And it starts off with a limousine ride to their airport. and a limousine ride home. So you get spoiled all the way through. If you want to have more of the Grand Canyon during the day, Maverick can fly you out. There's another thing to do when you're at Vegas. I'm not a big walker, as everyone who's staggered with me knows. There's also a train system at the back of Vegas. So if you get to one end and go, oh no, I can't go back, there's a railway system as well. And there's a new EV system being set up with subterranean tunnels. That's coming. There's so much to see. And it constantly changes. Like, you're looking at it, Nick talked about the Mirage. Well, the Mirage is now going to be the hard rock, and the Volcano is going to become a monster guitar. So everything changes with it, and every part of Vegas has its own character as well. This is the main strip. Maybe you don't want to be at the main strip. You can go up to the old area. That's all being refurbished as well. So there's so much to do, and we can help you do it. We can book it for you. We'll make the suggestions, and we'll help you make it happen. Back to you, Walter.
Oh, thanks, David. Nick. Yeah, look, I absolutely love Las Vegas, and I do not gamble. So I spend my entire time just going and seeing all the sights and sounds, and so many things that are off strip. As Nick pointed out, we can go to some of the gun ranges, we can go drive cars, we can go into basically a big sand pit for adults who can drive actual bulldozers and diggers.
Big boys' toys.
Just the most bizarre thing, but my goodness, how much fun. So, yeah, there's no... and then we've got other things too, like the Mob Museum and downtown Las Vegas, where we've got Fremont Street Experience, which, if you're not sure what that is, have a look online. It is definitely worth going downtown to have a look at as well.
Yeah,
so,
and you can find the pawn shops as well.
Yeah, PAWN, just to clarify.
How do you spell that?
Huh?
How was that called?
PAWN.
Oh, okay.
So the tour that we are doing is exceptional, without a doubt, going from Las Vegas all the way up through the Great Basin Highway, the loneliest road in America, Lake Tahoe Loop, coming down from Reno. We'll also be coming down the Arts Highway, the Death Valley Drive, as we make our way through to Hoover Dam, the Grand Canyon, coming down Route 66 with all that quirkiness that's going on, riding over London Bridge, and then coming back up to Las Vegas, and then having those extra nights if you'd like them, and we'll definitely help you out on those to really enhance your experiences for a holiday, really, that you will never forget. And as I said, this has been designed for those of us on motorcycles, but we do have that great option for your friends and family who really would like to come along but don't want to spend 1 or 2 weeks on the back of a motorcycle. We have that seat and van option for them. So just to cover over what this is all about, you can see the pricing there. You can see what the highlights are that we've already talked about. The one thing I did want to mention when looking at the pricing there, we do have an option, subject to availability, of convertible self-drive. So what this basically means is that you'll be able to hire a convertible. It's based on twin share, and you'll be able to basically follow us on this itinerary, see all the same experience, see all the same things that we do, have the same experiences, but you'll be driving yourself with a convertible. Other than that, we've got that seat and van option where we will be giving you the commentary in the van as we go. And then, of course, for those of us who love motorcycling, then this is all about being on the bikes and having those great, great rides that you would not normally think of, but will come back telling great tales about, and on the way, seeing and experiencing things that, as I said, you didn't even know existed. And I know this is probably one of David's...
Do we go back just for a second?
Yeah.
Just as a memory for both of us, who did we meet at that site when we were there with the bear?
Well, you're talking about Elvis.
That's him. Elvis was there, and that's why he left the room, because he went down to the Vegas sign to have photographs.
That's right, to make money having his photo taken. Oh, Las Vegas sign, you can't go past that. We'll be there with the whole group. I know, David, this is one of your little quirky likes.
Yeah, I'd like being alien.
Yeah, so for those of you that are not familiar with the extraterrestrial highway, Area 52 is in Nevada, and it is on the extraterrestrial highway. So we will actually, as we're making our way up on the very first day of our ride, we'll actually be turning off for a slight deviation onto a portion of the extraterrestrial highway to go and have a look at one of the alien centers. And again, quirky, that is just Nevada, and a great way to start our ride. The highway goes all across to the other side of the state, but here we'll be really having a little bit of exploration. And who knows, if you get abducted, we'll make sure that you've signed a waiver before we get onto the highway. Now, we have had a couple of other webinars that we have done recently. So if you are interested in our Elite Series tours, then have a look at these webinars. They are on our YouTube channel. So the Route 66 special, and this is David's birthday ride, and also to our New Orleans to Sturgis. And David, I just realized that shot that we've got in there of the Route 66 special is where we'll be staying in Kingman. Right.
That's quirky. That is real quirky.
So part of our Elite series, we stay at the best places or the most interesting places in town. And when we go to Kingman, there are a number of choices of properties, but we are choosing to stay here at this place because when we went there last year to go and have a look, we thought it was either going to be so terrible or so fantastic. And we were just delighted that it was so quirky, it was fantastic. So we'll be staying here in Kingman and just really boosting up our Route 66 experience. And in fact, for us, that's what it's all about. It's about enhancing and boosting our experiences, having those experiences that are beyond the ride. And we would love for you to join us on this trip in October, November this year, as we make our way from Las Vegas around through the marvelous and most interesting and diverse state of Nevada. So on that note, thanks, Nick. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Walter.
As always.
Thanks, Steve.
No problems.
I know that we could keep on chatting forever because we get so excited about what we're going to see and do. But we'll save that for the trip.
We'll chat to the riders when they're with us. They'll find out what it's really like to talk to us.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. We'll talk next time. Bye for now.
Thanks, Walter. Bye. Bye, Nick.
Ciao.